Albert, what are you doing all day in a cave? Oh, I know. You're waiting for the next broadcast of Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking theater.
Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Welcome to Lord Blood-Rah's nerve-wracking theater.
Ah, my lords and ladies, geeks, geekarellas, geekulas, and geekeritas. I am Lord Blood-Rah, and this is Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin' Theater. In 1932, Victor Halperin directed the very first zombie film, and the film which, to my mind, features the greatest Bela Lugosi performance, White Zombie. Now, everyone knows that, of course, but did you know that in 1936, a loose sequel to White Zombie was made concerning zombies not in Haiti, but in the jungles of Cambodia during World War I? And that's the film we have for you tonight. Tonight, from 1936, it's the tale of zombies and unrequited love, Revolt of the Zombies. Now, as I said, this film was proposed as a sequel to White Zombie, but due to a lawsuit from the Amusement Securities Corporation, a company that helped fund White Zombie, they were banned from promoting this film as a sequel to White Zombie. And, it's just as well. This would have been a rather weak sequel to a great, great classic horror film. But it's still a fun flick. Well, my lords and ladies, without further ado, I give to you this rather over-dramatically titled film, Revolt of the Zombies.
Captain Lou. Your splendid service as an interpreter is appreciated. But when you try to tell me stories of mesmerism, occultism, men without souls, hordes of supermen capable of annihilating armies of trained men, you make me wonder which of us is sane.
General, I dare say I failed in my presentation of the facts.
No, not facts, but the ravings of a mad Cambodian priest. No, Luke, it's too fantastic. Read that last.
General Headquarters. Austrians bringing up veteran shock troops.
One moment. I wish I could believe in your robots. I could use several regiments of them right now. That's all.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to tell me you failed on one. I can read your emotions in your face just as easily as you read the dead languages.
Can't find a language in which to convince General Duval.
No, the chances are you apologized, stammered, he barked, and you retreated without firing a shot.
Wish I had your assurance. Faculty of knowing your objective and driving straight at it.
Well, it's simple. Just impress the other fellows you know more than he does.
It has been called ego, Cliff.
Oh, yes, but I like the American phrase better. Intestinal fortitude.
Don't rub it in.
Well, someone should. You know, I admire your knowledge and you envy my ego. Well, I'll take half your knowledge and you take half my ego and we'll have two smart men.
How much of this high priest story you believe?
Oh, I think there is such a thing as black magic. Call it superstition if you want, I don't know. But I don't believe that you can turn human beings into automatons, or as you call them, zombies.
Do you believe in mental telepathy?
Might be something to it, I don't know.
Well, science does. It's an established fact, Cliff, that in the Orient, the last of an ancient race lives by the laws of telepathy. Their knowledge, their rituals, they're guarded by just such priests as this man Tiong.
All right, I'll buy your driver mental telegraphist, but I'll not buy your robot.
Now, look, Cliff. Tiong here comes from Angkor, where, according to their legends, Angkor was built by these robots. Thousands of tireless, feelingless human machines.
Yes, I know, and they call them zombies.
Controlled and directed mentally by their priest king.
Yes, and Tiong here is the last descendant of that priest king and the only man alive that knows the secret of the zombies.
Tiong. Bakan oi tava. Bakan am tiang. Nya oi tang tonei.
I don't believe a word of it.
He says that the general keeps his ears in the ground like the ears of a corpse. That he'll not listen to the words of wisdom.
Well, what does he want to do? Get the general some earphones?
Eva prai atilai. Atek. Xiang. Xiang vakoi. Akipuila. Tiong still insists his gods say he must create zombie soldiers. He says he'll show us how a handful of zombies can take an entire enemy trench.
I'm not here to plead the cause of the Central European power, but that of modern civilization. In the name of humanity, you must not go further with your experiment. It may mean the destruction of the white race.
General Van Schelling, the responsibility is not ours. It is that of a fanatical Oriental priest attached to our Cambodian contingent. We have already placed the man under arrest. His experiment ends with that.
I thank you, sir. I shall be glad to return with that assurance.
Then we are agreed that since the priest Tiong refuses to reveal his secret, he is a menace so powerful that he must be confined where he never again can use his occult knowledge.
Quite right, General.
All right? I suppose so.
I'm in the column. Sir, your threat of life imprisonment apparently has not moved this man.
He understands it means solitary confinement?
Yes, sir, and he still refuses.
Then inform him that we are forced to carry through the sentence of solitary confinement for life.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Wrackin etoi va.
He is to be confined to his quarters pending his removal to military prison.
Yes, sir. On down. It may be the destruction of the white race.
Well, this movie was made in 1936, and judging by the look of that Fu Manchu wannabe, I'm sure there's going to be more of that kind of thing in the movie. This film is a product of its time, as are all films. But hey, did you notice that cameo from Bela Lugosi's eyes? Sadly, that's all of Bela that's in this movie. That, of course, was a shot from White Zombie, and this being 1936, I'm sure Bela didn't get paid for it. We'll be right back.
Please leave your eyes at the door. You will not need them.
Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium presents the best of old-time radio, horror, and science fiction. Tales of terror and the uncanny that unfold on the stage of your imagination. Come experience the magic of old-time radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and other podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, when you seek the darkness.
Horrors of Spider Island. 8 beautiful girls and 1 lone man struggling for survival, with death, sudden, violent, and horrible, lurking in the shadows. Horrors of Spider Island. Out of the night came a fate worse than death. A man's mind twisted, his brain poisoned, with an uncontrollable lust to kill. Horrors of Spider Island. A tale of terror that will leave you limp. So hideous and shocking, you won't believe your eyes. His hunger for victims was never satisfied. Prepare to be frightened out of your wits by the Horrors of Spider Island.
Incidentally, where are your menfolk?
You're the first man I've ever seen.
Let go, Kip.
Well, then what's the matter?
Danger, Kip. They want to kill you. They'll take the spaceship and they'll make me go with them.
Well, how?
They can, Kip. They control me.
You'll share man's greatest thrill as you rocket through space to the lost moon city of alluring, ferocious cat women. Theirs is the fevered fury of life without love, goading them to lure men into the den of bloodthirsty moon monsters, driving them to tempt men in the deadly cave of moon gold, flaming into a wild lust to conquer man and destroy the world.
As we return to Revolt of the Zombies, we learn the answers to two vital questions. What has become of the priest Young, and who might have been responsible?
Gentlemen, the priest Young was murdered. Murdered by someone who did not want the Allies to benefit by his power to create robot soldiers. Or perhaps by someone who tried to take the secret from him to become the greatest force in the world.
True. When dealing with these Orientals, you deal with fatalists. Death to them is a transition to a better life. Thoroughly understandable.
His method of creating these zombies must be on record somewhere.
So I believe, sir. And it could only be in one of the temples of Angkor.
Then we must find it. And when this war ends, our duties will not end with it. I make a suggestion, and ask that each of you bring it to the attention of your government. Urge them to sponsor jointly an expedition to the lost city of Angkor. And for general appearances, let it be a private expedition. Find the secret of the zombies, destroy it. Then we shall
If you'll permit me to say so, sir, I think we've accomplished a good deal. It took years to make Angkor what she is. Certainly, we can't expect you to divulge your secret to us in just a few months.
Yes, but this all costs money and that.
Darling. Mr. Mack, how do you like me in this helmet?
My dear Claire, I like you in anything.
You're a gallant. I think I look awful in it.
So do I.
Now, Daddy, this is the time you're not to agree with me.
Well, maybe someday I'll say something that meets with your approval.
I promised myself that, darling. Monsieur Luke, how do you like me in it?
In what?
This hat. Copper. This.
I think you're beautiful.
Dear, you're more than gallant.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, now you spoiled it.
Is this the discussion of business, or are we playing charades?
Proceed, gentlemen. I'll take some minutes to
Now, Claire, now, here,
Am I intruding?
Well, you're late.
Sorry. I was busy.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting.
Monsieur Luke, no doubt, has represented me well, I trust.
Well, he made some alibis for you.
That's very nice of him, I'm sure. But I have a habit of handling my own affairs.
I'm looking things over today.
I'll be pleased to accompany you. Perhaps Mademoiselle Duval will permit me to...
Thank you, monsieur. I've made my arrangements. Monsieur Luke has consented to act as my guide.
I see.
In an hour, Monsieur Luke.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Duval. No, none whatever. So he promised to give up his power, release his subject for this woman he loved.
Now, that's my idea of a man in love.
You believe the legend?
Who made it up, old Angkor or you?
It's a true translation of the legend.
Would you have given up all that power for Endress?
I shall never have power. And I've never known love.
Well, power's not so important. You are in love. In love with old stones and pieces of pottery. Well, perhaps you're lucky.
Perhaps.
Who's that?
Oh, that's Cliff Grayson. He's one of our best men here.
Uh-huh. I'm hungry. Let's go back to camp.
All right, let's do.
What did you say his name was?
Jacob Allman.
Oh, no, I mean him.
Oh, Cliff Grayson. I thought for a while she was in love with you.
That shows what imagination can do.
I could have understood that.
Why?
You're so much more her kind.
There goes that inferiority complex again. You know, someday I'm going to cure you with that.
I hope you do. What was it you said once about if you want anything, ride roughshod over everything?
Be ruthless. Forget all sentiment. Get to your objective, take it, and hold it.
I wonder if I could do that.
Perhaps not. But the man that doesn't is a fool. Good night.
Well, I hardly know. Dance is centuries old, I expect.
Yes, but the wiggle's always the same.
That's the traditional wedding dance of the Khmers.
You know, she had a nice
Father?
understanding of the dance.
Now, Father, that girl is my discovery.
This engagement party would not be complete without hearing from the lucky man. On your feet, lads. Let's see you rise to the occasion.
There you are.
Well, I hardly know what to say. I suppose that no man hardly knows what to say in a situation like this, but well, I presume we all say just about the same thing, so as trite as it is, may I say, I am the most fortunate man in the world.
Bravo! Bravo!
I'm sorry. I must be overcome by Armand's emotions.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. What father does when he's giving up the only daughter he ever had.
You couldn't say anything nicer than that, darling.
I've said the right thing at last. I'm improving.
Mr. Grayson, you were about to say something. Were you not?
No, General. Like you, I prefer to listen tonight.
Well, that's strange. I've never known you at a loss for words.
I wish you all the happiness that you deserve.
It's like putting a jigsaw puzzle together, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Always wondering where the next piece goes.
First thing we know, Claire, you'll be a puzzle jigger like us with a sieve and a shovel.
Who knows? I might be the one who finds the secret of hypnotizing subjects. I know certain people I'd use it on.
Will you tell us if you find the secret?
Oh, she'd have to. A woman isn't supposed to keep a secret, is she?
I don't know whether Malatesta is painting this plot or trying out next year's color scheme for gentlemen's hair. Oh!
Grayson!
I can't understand it. I examined those ropes myself only this morning.
You think you're badly hurt?
I don't know. I'm just numb.
Well, we'll get you to the hospital tent.
Like monsters? Like horror? Like sci-fi? You'll love Maniac Monster Designs. Stickers, enamel pins, patches, magnets, tees, pillows. Maniac Monster Designs for everything retro, spooky, and fun. You'll find Maniac Monster Designs on eBay, Facebook, Instagram, and at maniacmonsters.com. Now you can have cool monster designs anytime, anywhere with Maniac Monster Designs.
Hey, you want to drag, huh? Rev it up.
Action you've never seen races across your screen as you thrill to a new dimension in picture making. Carnival of Souls. This is the shocking story of a who crawled from the river to race through a nightmare, walking a tightrope between heaven and hell. From the unreal, she crashes through to reality. But try as she will to lead a normal life, she is torn from her goal. There's no privacy in her life. She's ever watched, tormented. Either it's her neighbor, desirous of her physically, watching her with his leering eye, or it's the evil eye of the man who taunts her, the man who wants her. From the bottom of the river they come. They reach for her. They demand that she dance with them at the Carnival of Souls. She is a girl driven mad by the relentless forces of the beyond. He will not relent as he comes for her again and again. She whirls between the real and the unreal, trying to cling to life.
I like being with you, really I do. I don't want to be alone tonight. I want to be near you.
Honey, you don't want to go in there all by yourself, do you?
But she must watch herself in death. She must dance at the Carnival of Souls held just for her. For they have come for her for the last time, claiming her as one of their own. Carnival of Souls arouses such emotion that the management has been forced to state positively no refunds. Carnival of Souls is the shocker of all time, guaranteed to sweep you into a new dimension of picture making. You can't afford to miss Carnival of Souls.
Bound by no earthly law, possessing weird and enormous powers, these strange teenagers from outer space invade the Earth and prepare to possess its women. Nothing can stop their deadly advance. Earthmen are no match for their superhuman powers. They blast the flesh off humans. A moment before, she was a beautiful young girl. Now, she's a skeleton. you ever been kissed by a woman like this? This is the story of an adventure so fantastic and horrible as to make a man of science doubt his senses. See the dance of destruction as Tarantula entices men to a strange fate. Lost women, lost because they were born without human souls. Children of abominable deviltry and twisted science, unleashed by insanity.
He has human beauty and intelligence, still possesses the capacities and instincts of the giant spider.
Who could have shot him?
Nobody shot him. Look, these are not bullet wounds.
What could have killed him?
I don't know. I hope we won't have to find out.
Aren't you afraid, Grant?
I'm scared stiff.
If you're frightened, what do you call him?
I'm getting out of here.
The terror of mortal man, paralyzed with fear, bereft of reason, facing the horror of the giant hexapod.
As we return to Revolt of the Zombies, our little love triangle has become an arrowhead aimed right at Monsieur Luke's heart. Who writes this stuff? I mean, really, that's just nauseating.
One thing I've always admired about you was your honesty.
The thing I've most admired about you was your loyalty to your work and to your friend, Cliff Grayson.
I've never had reason to question his loyalty either. Even now, he's an innocent victim, as I am.
I loved him.
And I loved you.
So did he. But do you think he would ever have admitted it? Unless
you had used me to excite his jealousy.
Exactly.
I suppose in your mind you can justify that.
A woman in love can justify anything.
Be ruthless. Ride roughshod over everything. Forget all sentiment. Decide upon what you want and get it, no matter whom it hurts. I've been told that was the thing to do. And now I find it's a woman's code, too. Well, I still admire your honesty.
Oh, I have a regret. I've hurt you.
Well, you should have no regrets. If getting what you want is everything, there should be no regrets.
Oh, aren't you being a little ruthless now?
No. I'm a man who loves you.
Even now?
Yes. I shall always love you. I have been made somewhat ridiculous, it's true, but still I love you.
Oh, I'd much rather that you'd hate me.
I wish I could. That would make things so easy.
Had you done this to me, I should hate you. If for no other reason, because of pride.
Where you are concerned, I have no pride. I change Zhu, ambassador to the Khmer kingdom of Angkor, witnessed a strange ceremony, which Fools! Under our very noses.
The ceremony. The zombie ceremony.
Then the secret does lie in Angkor. Tuna, we're going back to Angkor. I want you to go with me.
No, Sahib. Do not go to Angkor.
Why not? Why not?
Please. Priests hold very old religious custom because they glad you all go away. Very dangerous to go back.
Why, yes, I believe you're walking through a river in Cambodia, just like I'm walking through the Carpathian Mountains in Transylvania on this dark, foggy night. Oh, look! Behind me. That must be Dracula's castle. And a giant bat just flew out of the window. That must be Count Dracula out for his nightly hunt. Ooh, I better run away, because if the Count gets me, he's gonna... Where's the green screen? There's supposed to be a green screen here. I look like an idiot doing this.
All the cool things.
You want
all the cool things.
But where can you find
all the cool things?
It's all right here at Novemberfire.com. All the cool t-shirts, all the cool DVDs, all the cool masks. Be extra cool and tell them Lord Blood-Rah sent you.
All the cool things.
At Novemberfire.com.
From ancient Genesis to the modern screen, the name written in blood, Ega!
If I could just call you on the phone. The code of the ghost at the sign of the toad. Nobody lives on the Brownsville Road.
Thrill to the newest recording star, Archibald Jr.
Oh, the scream in this way.
See ravishing Marilyn Manning in a thrilling, chilling story. The last of the prehistoric giants sees his first girl.
Noah. And
Curious newsmen search deep in giant country for the last of the ancient cavemen. See a tough giant tamed by the soft hands of his captive woman. See him sacrifice his ageless beard for her love. Then lose her to a boy in a dune buggy, escaping a burning desert. Ega's primitive passion was love or kill. Hear Ega talk, the ancient language of love, used at the beginning of time. See Ega!
Super Shocker number 1, Dr. Macabre's Frightmare of Movie Monsters. Imagine seeing almost all the screen's scariest monsters alive, in person. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Teenage Frankenstein, Daughter of Dracula, The Fly, a man's body, a fly's head, Rodan, the flying monster, The Colossal Beast, and more, many more, never here before. Plus, Super Shocker number 2, Spooks A-Poppin', a thrilling new idea in spook shows. We double dare you to see this double header of super monstrous, superhuman, super shockers in person on the stage.
How much Jack you think's in that strong rock?
There's plenty of Cuban sugar, though.
Here's what happened. The general beat his friend Castro to the Cuban treasury. The strongbox is now on this boat. So are a deported American gangster and his moll. And lurking in the depths is the creature from the haunted sea.
You're a crazy, mixed-up kid.
I am perfectly adjusted to my life of crime.
Don't worry, Mary Bell. I'll save you.
It's all right. Be calm, everybody. The boat's insured.
Beware. The creature from the haunted sea.
Now back to Revolt of the Zombies, as our heartsick Monsieur Luke is on the verge of discovering how to make a zombie.
Just like the picture.
I can't translate that.
Where's Luke? He's been absent now for 2 days without permission. And right in the middle of this important translation, he disappears into thin air.
None of you. Not one of you are able to offer an explanation. I have discipline in this organization if I have to send every one of you back to your own country. Well. You, Luke? Where have you been?
In Angkor.
In Angkor. By whose leave did you absent yourself from your work?
Well, I thought that you would be glad to know that...
You thought? You are incapable of thought. Did I give you permission to go to Angkor for 2 days while your work here, insignificant as it is, waits while I wait?
But Dr. Travis and
I will not tolerate insubordination. When you signed with this expedition, you agreed to abide by its orders. You see, Luke, you are dismissed. You will be provided with transportation back to France on the next steamer leaving Saigon.
But, Doctor...
Good day, sir.
Sit down. There. Una, the white man's ways have ever been strange to you. To me, they are strange, too. But I've discovered that he who would succeed must disregard all sentiment, decide upon his objective and drive straight to it. Ruthless? Yes, but therein lies success. Una, I have discovered the secret formula of the great king of the Khmers. You are my first experiment. If I succeed with you, I will have acquired a knowledge that will make me the most important man in the world. I will it. Can you move hand or foot, except as I will it? No, Master. Can you think or speak, except as I command? No, Master. Una, we're learning to be ruthless. Yes, Master.
Please leave your eyes at the door. You will not need them.
Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium presents the best of old-time radio, horror, and science fiction. Tales of terror and the uncanny that unfold on the stage of your imagination. Come experience the magic of old-time radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and other podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, when you seek the darkness.
Say goodbye, Jules. You never left me without saying goodbye.
No clues, no fingerprints, no motive, nothing.
Surely if a man was choked to death, there would be imprints on his throat.
Why in the world do you stay in this place?
We can't leave.
Everybody, but everybody, is going to our Ghost-A-Go-Go show. Already the spooks are swinging, the witches are winging, the haunts are on the move. The monsters are swaying, the ghosts are saying, come on, get in the groove, and come to our rock and roll Ghost-A-Go-Go show. It's a zany mixture of spooks and music with the beat. You may rock with chills or roll with the combos. But whatever you do, you'll have the time of your young life at our Ghost-A-Go-Go show. It's new, it's different, it's tough.
Creatures from the grave.
Avenge me! I've summoned you! Avenge me!
Go back to the dead!
In a dreadful night of reckoning, the forces of darkness strike with blood-freezing horror.
We're here.
Nightmare of diabolical happenings, conceived in a murder-haunted house of blood by the maniac called Geronimus, a dead man with the monstrous power to return from his grave.
I tell you, it was my father. I saw him.
What are you saying? Can't you see the boat is empty?
Look! Look! There's water dripping from the oars.
A bone-chilling shocker, inspired by Edgar Allan Poe.
No!
Terror Creatures from the Grave, starring Barbara Steele.
We now return to Revolt of the Zombies, as Monsieur Luke now holds the secret of how to create a zombie. And it looks like no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Armand, you're a different man. There's no indecision in you these days, lad.
You have an authority about you. It's quiet, but one senses it. Like a man who had suddenly found himself.
Took me a long time to acquire it. I no longer question what I should do. I do what I want to do.
That's fine. But there's always one danger of overdoing it. And that's worse than not doing it at all.
McDonald, you're the one man to whom I'm grateful. You're my friend.
I always believed in you, lad.
I know you did.
If you hadn't said what you have, I wouldn't say this. I like you for the way you stood on your feet when another man had the good luck that you deserved.
It wasn't for me.
That's the way to look at it. She's a grand girl, and he's a good lad. And we'll all be wishing him happiness in another 2 weeks.
Two weeks.
Have Monsieur Grayson come here at once.
Have I said anything I shouldn't, lad?
Yes? You will proceed at once to his tower. Report to Colonel Lamont, in charge of our survey in that district. Bring back his confidential findings. Take what escort you need.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the confidence you place in me, sir, but isn't this rather an unexpected mission, considering the fact that your daughter and I will be married in 2 weeks, and the trip to Estella will take 6?
I sympathize with you, Grayson. But our duties come first. You understand?
Yes, sir.
As your poet Bobby Burns has said, the best laid plans of mice and men gang after gley.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Dr. Faustus, with his alchemy, and the help of his satanic majesty, discovered the secret of renewed youth. Just what is the secret you found?
I have not as yet been able to enlist the help of Satan, but perhaps you, with your recently acquired habits of appearing at inopportune moments, hold the power to materialize the Prince of Darkness.
In possession of the knowledge you hold, I should not need his help.
You assume much, my dear Mazovia.
I know much, my dear Luke.
You should know, then, that I'm not easily fooled by your attempted subtleties. Any knowledge that I may possess shall be retained only by me. You see, I don't hold you to be a stupid man.
You have need of me, my dear Luke. You are a clod. I, a man of imagination. You have stumbled upon this lost knowledge of the centuries. I have hesitated at nothing to gain it. Let me share your secret with you, and the world lies at our feet.
In France, did Theon, the high priest, share his knowledge with you?
No. And therefore he died.
You killed him?
With the help of the goddess Siva. Ah, that you will not understand. This you may. The breaking of the scaffold, so well tested by MacDonald. The mysterious disappearance of Francois and Henri. The refusal of the natives to do any further work.
Why?
The expedition withdrew, did it not? I knew you would not give up. I hoped you would lead me to the secret. Tiang took this from the goddess Siva, and I took it from him. I thought it was what we all thought. It was a clue, but not the right one. This I am right in. You have the secret of the zombies. Let me have it.
You leave me no choice, my dear Mazovia.
You show rare judgment, my dear Luke.
The secret lies in placing the right hand. So, the symbol of the third eye of Siva. The summoning by will of one who is to be your executioner. His hands slowly steal about your throat. Great priest king Yakavan used his subjects, men like you, to build the miracle city of Angkor. Perhaps under my control, you are scheduled for even greater things. Dr. Trevisan, I thank you for reinstating me. So kind. And you, my poor friends, for the unwilling contribution of your souls. You are giving me power to achieve the one thing I want. And I am so grateful. No doubt you would all tear me limb from limb should I ever relinquish this control. But that shall never be.
Wow, that was a surprise. I thought he was going to turn out to be the big baddie. It looks like our milquetoast Luke has gone a little mad with power. But how exactly does that work? I mean, he only exposed one guy to the horror hashish or whatever that was he was burning, and now he can control any mind he wants to? Did they just not have the budget to film the scenes where he used that smoke on everybody else? Or did he slip it into their food or something? Look, I know I'm overthinking this, but it's my job. I do it so you don't have to. We'll be right back. Lord Blood-Rah keeps the love of vintage horror and science fiction alive with 3 weekly shows. The Nerve-Wrackin Theater, Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring the best of old-time radio horror shows, and the Patreon-exclusive series, The Cathode Zone, presenting episodes of classic genre TV shows. You can help spread the love of vintage horror and get access to Lord Blood-Rah's Cathode Zone by signing on at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah.
Jesse James. You will need it.
Your bullets can't hurt me.
For 2 million years in these subterranean caves, a creature of superhuman evil was entombed in a wall of ice, waiting to be free, waiting to live again. Travel with us on a journey into a world where nightmare becomes reality.
Are you telling me that an ape that lived 2 million years ago got onto that crate, killed the baggage man and put him in there?
Yes, I am. It's alive. It must be.
Travel with us, if you dare, on the Horror Express.
We'll search the train and find it, whatever it is, and destroy it.
But if it's alive...
I want this kept quiet. I don't want to panic the passengers.
The malignant power of this creature is indestructible, transferring its force from mind to mind, from body to body.
Beast is not dead. I put 4 bullets into him.
You think evil can be killed with bullets? Satan lives.
The animal that you shot was only the host. It's alive in someone on this train.
You saw his eyes. One look at them and you're dead.
Anything that moves near that door, kill it!
Run. Run for your life. Hide, but you can't escape. No one can stop the fury and the terror of the Horror Express.
Claire.
We're going home right now. Come on, pack up. We're going home. I sensed a change in him when he sent me away.
I'm frightened.
That time Armand was away, he was in Angkor. He's succeeded where we've all failed. He's found the secret of the high priest, and he has power. And both of us taught him the lesson of being ruthless. He knows what he wants, all right. It's you.
What will he do to you?
He'll get me out of the way. Our only chance is to get away together, and right now. Come on.
Your father asked me to say that he wishes to see you at once. I trust you had a pleasant trip to... Where was it? Oh, yes, Ishtala, I believe.
That trip couldn't possibly have been made at your suggestion, could it?
My suggestion? What possible reason could I have had for that?
Same reason as for all these changes have been made since I was sent over for these men, and you schemed to marry Claire.
If anything or anyone gets in your way, ride roughshod over him. Isn't that your creed?
Not creed. Just advice I gave to a friend.
You also advised, forget sentiment. If you want a thing, go after it and get it. Isn't that it?
You proved an apt pupil.
I had a splendid teacher.
And now I'm the one that stands in your way.
You are. But I'm removing you.
Then if I marry you, you will send Cliff back to England. That is your offer, is it not?
Not my offer. My promise.
He goes unharmed.
Unharmed?
I want your word that you will not make him subject to your will as these others are.
These followers, shall we say. He will not be harmed. I give you my word.
I believe that you will keep it.
Yes, I will. And I'll do more. I'll let you bid him goodbye.
I should like to do that.
You love him very much, don't you?
I'm proving it. It isn't easy to give up the one thing in the world one loves.
No, it isn't, is it? I, too, love only one thing in the world, but cannot give it up. Our difference is, I haven't your courage.
There was so much I wanted to say. Now there's so little to say.
I've only felt like this once before. The first time I went up into the front line. I was afraid.
It takes a brave man to say that.
A brave man would never let you sacrifice yourself to save him.
So there's no sacrifice. I love you. I shall always. We shan't say goodbye.
No. Just let me look at you.
I'll miss my guide.
Oh, we've got to keep our heads up.
I'm going in now. Quiet, stop.
10 minutes past 5.
From now on, I shall always count time over London.
And mine will always be set 8 hours later. For the East.
An apt pupil. Your teacher commends you. At least I let her remember you as a man.
We shan't say goodbye.
No. Just let me look.
I'll miss my guide.
Oh, we've got to keep our heads up.
I'm going in now. Stop.
10 minutes past 5.
From now on, I shall always count time as a run.
And mine will always be set 8 hours later. For the east.
Okay, I know that the acting in these old movies can sometimes be stilted and over the top, but that has to be some of the worst acting I've ever seen. It's no surprise, really, that Dorothy Stone, who plays Claire, only did a total of 6 movies, and the other 5 were short films. And as for Robert Nolan, who plays Clifford, this was his only movie. But Dean Jagger, who plays our zombie master, Monsieur Luke, went on to have a great career in film and television, and won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in the 1949 film 12 O'Clock High. Good for him. But, in my opinion, the Best Acting Award in this movie goes to Bela Lugosi's eyes.
Please leave your eyes at the door. You will not need them.
Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium presents the best of old-time radio, horror, and science fiction. Tales of terror and the uncanny that unfold on the stage of your imagination. Come experience the magic of old-time radio horror. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium is available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and other podcast providers. Lord Blood-Rah's Nerve-Wrackin Auditorium, when you seek the darkness.
Scream a minute. A nightmare of fiendish horror. Unbelievable until you see it with your own horror-stricken eyes.
Since I've been here, I've been trying to capture a wolf to extract his glands.
But tell me, Professor, have you ever experimented on yourself?
The new doctor, suspect, beauties, the prey of fiendish desires. A village up in arms.
Where? At the top of the stairs. Walter, stop, or I'll shoot.
A Nervorama shocker.
Now, on to the conclusion of Revolt of the Zombies. And after that, we'll have more adventures in far-off lands.
If I'm not welcome, open the door again. Start me, and I'll roll gently back to my room.
They'll never kill your spirit, MacDonald.
It's all I have left, save my love for my friend.
What's on your mind?
That which is most difficult to do, and have it understood. Give unwanted advice.
That's true, Mac. But go ahead. You're the one man I'll listen to.
Thanks.
Well, what's it all about?
You and yours. You've done a terrible thing to her.
Is it so terrible to fight for and to get the one thing in this world you want?
Not if you played a gentleman's game.
I don't like sermons.
Nor perhaps the truth?
Perhaps not.
I do. This power which you have, this obsession which drives you on, will defeat you in the end, and it should. You fool yourself with the delusion that you can make this woman love you. You can't do it. No man should do what his sense of right tells him not to do
nor desire that which it forbids him to desire. When right ways disappear, one's person must vanish with one's principles. That was said by an ancient philosopher, and I hold these things to be true. Good night.
My dearest, know that I love you. Loving each other, we are no farther apart than our thoughts could reach.
Claire, I've just been told that my hope of having you care for me is a delusion. Would you say that?
I married you. I kept my bargain.
And I kept mine.
For that I am grateful.
Is that all I'm to ever have? Your gratitude?
Yes.
I envy Clifford. I'd give up everything I have if you could just find it in your heart to think kindly of me.
You asked me to think kindly of you. You have control over my thinking. You've proved that with my father and others. You've made them subject to your will.
I could never do that to you. I couldn't. If I give up this power, if I release these people,
then I should really believe that you love me.
I'll prove it. I give it up. I love you. You wondered once how the great priest-king Yakovaman lost his power, releasing his subjects. He was enamored of the fair Indra. He did try by sundry means to win her love. But she, as women will, could not care for him. So he willingly gave up his power. for this woman he loved.
What's happened?
Whom the gods destroy, they first make mad.
So originally, I thought this guy was going to be the villain of the piece. Then Luke started playing Zombie Master, and he turned out to be the bad guy. But now that it's all over, you know who the real villain is, right? Her. I mean, don't forget.
I loved him.
And I loved you.
So did he. But do you think he would ever have admitted it? Unless
you had used me to excite his jealousy.
Exactly.
She got engaged to Luke only to make Clifford jealous so he'd marry her, and that sent Luke over the edge. This is all her fault, 100%. Anyway, after this, we'll go from the jungles of Cambodia to the mountains of Tibet. Lord Blood-Rah keeps the love of vintage horror and science fiction alive with 3 weekly shows. The Wrackin Theater, Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring the best of old-time radio horror shows, and the Patreon-exclusive series, The Cathode Zone, presenting episodes of classic genre TV shows. You can help spread the love of vintage horror and get access to Lord Blood-Rah's Cathode Zone by signing on at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah.
Larry!
From the exotic geisha houses of Tokyo to the back alleys of the Ginza Strip comes the terrifying news of a fiendish creature that threatens to destroy all who stand in his way. This is the frightening story of an American reporter in Tokyo who unwittingly became the victim of a shocking scientific experiment that turned him into a horrible mutant, half man, half monster, the Manster.
He got away.
I think I know where he's going, to Taras. Follow me.
Right.
There's panic in the streets as the unheard-of terror of a half-man, half-monster runs wild through the city.
There he goes!
Don't miss The Manster, a genuine thriller in the most frightening sense of the word.
Science has learned that all people possess mental powers which pass the boundaries of the natural. This is the story of a man confronted by such strange forces within himself. At this moment, he is looking at a thing of evil, a thing that takes possession of the mind and compels it to kill. I destroyed them. Something in me killed them.
Seven pins went in. And the 7 people died. Not 1, 7. Who put in those pins? You did. All 7. Maps and pins can't kill alone. The power of a human brain has to be behind them.
You're right. We are so lucky. So lucky to be alive. A terror in the hellish unknown, seeking warm, living flesh to drag down into the bowels of the earth.
And now, my lords and ladies, we continue our adventure in exotic lands with an episode of a legendary cartoon series. These are the stories of a world-traveling adventurer and his 2 companions as they seek thrills and excitement. This 60s cartoon series was shot using the revolutionary, and rather disturbing, technique called Synchrovox, in which live-action film of actors' mouths were superimposed over the extremely limited animation. My lords and ladies, without further ado, I give to you Clutch Cargo, Spinner and Paddlefoot in Mr. Abominable.
Clutch Cargo, with his pals Spinner and Paddlefoot, and Mr. Abominable. While on their way to visit with an old friend, the Rajah of Outdoor, Clutch and company are forced by bad weather to cross a small corner of Mongolia.
If we can stay above the clouds, we'll be all right.
But we're losing altitude fast. If this keeps on, I'm afraid we're going to be in trouble.
I'm not scared, Clutch. Are we, Paddlefoot?
I can't keep her up. We just don't have enough power. Flying in these high mountains is a dangerous business.
Clutch! That mountain just ahead! We're gonna hit it!
That was too close. We've got to try and land. You could help a lot, Spinner, by keeping a sharp lookout ahead.
Clutch takes the plane lower, and they break out below the clouds. But no possible place for a landing can be seen.
Spinner, we're in luck. Look at that ahead.
It's a kind of a clearing, Clutch, and I think I can see some tents.
Looks like some sort of civilization, Spinner. This is it.
Hold on. I'm going to try and set her down.
Golly, this wind is cold. Those mountains above us are all covered with snow.
Those are the Himalayas, Spinner. Highest in the world.
Uh-oh. Here comes somebody. Sure hope he's friendly.
We'll know in a minute. Hello there. Do you speak English?
Welcome to our humble village. What brings you to our out-of-the-way home?
We were forced to land because of the high winds. I'm Clutch Cargo, and these are my pals, Spinner and Paddlefoot.
Clutch Cargo? A double welcome, for we have read of your many heroic deeds.
Thank you.
I am Prince Gung-Ho, ruler of our province. But please come by the fire and warm yourself. We are very sad and afraid. Our sacred blue yak, the only one ever born, has disappeared.
A blue yak?
The yak is an animal much like your cow, only with long fur to protect it from the freezing cold.
Gosh, I'd like to see one.
You may never see the sacred blue yak, but I will show you our regular ones.
Is that one?
No, Spinner. He is as big as a yak, but that is Chuck Chi, my faithful servant. Chuck Chi, this is Clutch Cargo and Company. Maybe they will help us find our sacred blue yak.
You no find blue yak. Him gone way away.
Chuck Chi believes the sacred blue yak was stolen by a mysterious creature we call the Abominable Snowman.
I've heard about him. He walks like a man, but looks like an enormous ape. Golly, do you think there is such a thing?
With my own eyes, I see him. Chuck is the only one who has, but many have seen his tracks.
This gets spookier all the time. A real honest-to-goodness yak-napper. Prince, we'll be glad to help you.
I thank you, but you must be careful. The snow in the mountains is deep and the cliffs are high.
And remember, this is the country of the Abominable Snowman. We'll be careful, Prince.
Yes, we'll be careful.
Clutch and Company, with Chuck Chi as a guide, start on the long, high mountain trek.
We haven't far to go to the top.
Clutch! Look! What is it?
The Abominable Snowman. Come on, Spinner, we're going to follow him.
We are?
Maybe he'll lead us to the Blue Yak. Chuck Chi.
Clutch! He's gone!
Chuck Chi!
Here goes the snowman, Clutch.
Come on, let's go. The snow's too hard to show tracks here, but I think he's behind that snow pile just ahead. Quiet now. Maybe we can surprise him.
But golly, Clutch, he looked awful big.
Clutch and his pals take a careful look.
He's not there. Where'd he go, Clutch?
There's something moving over to the left. You and Paddlefoot wait here. If you see him, holler.
Okay, Clutch.
Clutch goes on ahead, while Spinner and Paddlefoot keep watch from behind the snow pile. But something is watching them.
Quiet, Paddlefoot. Clutch doesn't want us to make any noise unless we see the snowman. Quiet, Paddlefoot. Yipe! Clutch! Paddlefoot, you scared him off.
Yes, good boy, Paddlefoot.
There he is again, Clutch. Do you think maybe he's playing?
It's hard to tell, Spinner. Hey, you.
Who, me? Welcome to the end of the earth.
But you speak English.
Naturally. Everybody does in Egg Stain.
Egg Stain?
Yep, good old Egg Stain, Ohio, and the good old USA. That's where I'm from.
But what are you doing here?
I was in business for myself back in Ohio. I had an Easter egg factory. One day it burned. So I decided to go to the farthest end of the earth and become a hermit. Here I am.
And we thought we'd discovered the eighth wonder of the world.
The wonder is that you discovered me. Usually, I stay pretty well hidden.
Well, Mr. Abominable, those people down there think you stole their sacred blue yak.
I think I saw it, but I wouldn't take anything that didn't belong to me.
You mean you know where it is?
Follow me. I'll take you to the place where the sacred blue yak is a prisoner.
You mean it's caged?
It's in a pen at the bottom of a deep canyon.
How did it get in there?
That's the problem. There's no way in and no way out.
You mean this canyon has no entrance at all?
Yep, that's about the size of it. I had a good look around for myself. I figured that only a mountain goat could get in there. That is, if he had a parachute.
There must be an entrance somewhere. And we'll find it. Come on.
Golly, this ice is slippery. We don't want to get too close to the edge of the cliff, Paddlefoot.
Not much further now. Just over this little rise, and we'll see the sacred blue yak. Oh, no. Look down there. It's gone. The sacred blue yak is gone.
Assume the position and open your minds wide. It's time for your cranial cavity search. Yes, my lords and ladies, the cranial cavity search. Here's a chance for you great geeks out there to prove your geek cred by showing what you know. And tonight's cranial cavity search question is, in just a moment, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. From which classic haunted house movie does that line come? A. The Haunting. B. House on Haunted Hill? C. The Changeling? Or D. The Ghosts of Hanley House? From which haunted house movie does that line come? We'll find out after these very old lines. Lord Blood-Rah keeps the love of vintage horror and science fiction alive with 3 weekly shows: the Wrackin Theater, Lord Blood-Rah's Wrackin Auditorium, the podcast featuring the best of old-time radio horror shows, and the Patreon-exclusive series, The Cathode Zone, presenting episodes of classic genre TV shows. You can help spread the love of vintage horror and get access to Lord Blood-Rah's Cathode Zone by signing on at patreon.com/Lord Blood-Rah. And the answer to tonight's cranial cavity search question. In just a moment, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. From which classic haunted house film does that line come? It was B. House on Haunted Hill. Yes, my lords and ladies, House on Haunted Hill, the classic William Castle Vincent Price film. If you're watching this show, I'm sure you've seen it before. If you haven't, run right out and see it immediately. Well, after this episode. Speaking of which, we now return to Clutch Cargo meets Mr. Abominable, who actually turns out to be a guy from Eggstain, Ohio, as they search for the sacred blue yak. There's not too many times in life where you can say a sentence like that, is there?
The sacred blue yak is gone! That's where it was, all right. There's the pen where it was kept.
Golly, that's a long drop. I don't see any entrance either, Clutch.
Only one thing to do. We'll go back and get the plane. Weather's better now. We'll search from the air.
Come over to my house. I can help you get back faster.
Good. But how?
With my sled. We can ride to where the snow stops. Then you can walk to the village.
A sled? Oh, boy!
Clutch and Company head for the snowman's home.
Here it is. It may not be a castle, but it's home to me.
Gee, this would make a swell clubhouse for the kids.
Come in. I'll show you how we live at the end of the earth.
Looks like you're set for food anyway.
Yes, I like to eat.
Where's your sled?
Right here. It's my bed, too.
Good idea. Serves 2 purposes.
It's a bed sled. This'll be fun. Golly, this is fun. Look at Paddlefoot. He looks like he's ready to take off. Take off? We're going to. Right.
It's all right, folks. Just sit back and enjoy the scenery.
That's good driving.
Nothing to it. When I had my Easter egg factory, I drove a taxi cab between seasons. Helped pay the bills. Here we are, folks. End of the line. I mean the snow. Afraid you'll have to walk from here.
We won't be long. Can you get the sled back alone?
Oh, sure. I slide down here 2-3 times a week just for fun. Sometimes when I get back, I can't talk for a while. The change in altitude affects my voice.
When we get back, if you can't talk, we'll know why. Don't worry.
So long, Mr. Abominable.
Clutch and Company continue on foot toward the village.
Welcome back, Clutch and Spinner. Any luck?
We thought we met the abominable snowman, but he turned out to be some fellow from Ohio.
From Eggstain.
Egg Stain?
Yes, Egg Stain, Ohio. But he's gone hermit.
I see.
He showed us where the blue yak had been held prisoner, but when we got there, it had disappeared.
Disappeared? Oh, no.
We're going to take the plane and search from the air. Would you like to come with us?
I have never had an air ride.
Do come with us.
You bet he will, Spinner. Okay, then. Let's go. Watch every moving thing you see on the ground. It could be the blue yak.
But not a sign of the sacred animal do they see. Clutch decides to land on the hard snow near the hermit's cabin.
I fear we shall never see the sacred blue beast again.
But something's going on. Here comes Mr. Abominable. And if he's not excited, no one ever has been.
Come on, quick! Hurry!
He's sure all worked up over something.
Quick! Follow me!
Gosh, he's going fast. Hard to keep up with him.
Something terrible has happened.
Hey! Wait, boys! What's going on? What's happened?
Come on, quick!
We'll find out soon enough, I guess.
I know something terrible has happened. I feel it right here.
Look, he stopped.
Hurry up, you guys! Great news! The yak's back! The sacred blue yak is back. Oh, how can I thank you? What is your name?
Yes, we can't go around calling him Mr. Snowman.
Or Mr. Abominable.
Didn't I introduce myself? I'm Jack Jones.
From Egg Stain, Ohio.
I'm Clutch Cargo, and this is Spinner and Paddlefoot. This is Prince Gung Ho, ruler of this province.
This is indeed a pleasure. Imagine meeting a real prince. You are indeed, how do you say, most welcome. And now, how to get the sacred animal to my village?
I have just the thing in the plane. The coil of rope 200 feet long. We'll get it.
Clutch gets the rope and ties it to a rock. Then, leaving Jack Jones, the snowman, until last, they start sliding down the rope. First, Spinner, with Prince Gung Ho last. Slowly and carefully, they descend until they reach the bottom.
Okay, Jack, your turn. Start down.
My blue yak, my beautiful sacred blue yak.
He sure missed you, Mr. Prince. Look how glad he is to see you.
We've got to get him out of here fast. Whoever kidnapped him is sure to come back. There must be a way out. We better look.
I can't let the blue yak out of my sight. What if he disappears while we're gone?
You're right, Prince. You stay and guard him while we look around. Come on, Spinner. We won't be long, Prince.
Jack Jones, the snowman, makes his way slowly down the long rope. As Jack Jones told them, the change in altitude begins to affect his voice, and soon he is unable to make a sound. While Clutch and Spinner are searching for a way out of the deep canyon, Jack Jones decides to rest on a ledge halfway down the cliff. Out of the rocks comes a figure who looks exactly like him. You can't tell them apart. Oh, poor Jack, out cold. And down the rope comes the abominable snowman, heading for Prince Gung Ho, who is waiting alone with the sacred blue yak.
No sign of a way out of this canyon anywhere. We'll have to get some men from the village. They'll help us haul the yak up the cliff. It'll be a job, but there's nothing else we can do.
Clutch, look!
Oh, no.
The yak's disappeared again.
And no sign of the prince either. Wait. There's his hat.
Wonder what's happened, Clutch? Did you hear that?
Sure did, Spinner. It's over there. Come on.
Meanwhile, the other snowman has just moved a rock back into position, covering a hole in the cliff wall.
There's Jack Jones. We forgot all about him. Hello, Mr. Jones.
I guess the change in altitude affected your voice, huh, Jack? That's all right. We understand.
Paddlefoot, stop that. You know Jack Jones. He's our friend.
There it is again. It's coming from inside the cliff.
Clutch, there's an opening behind this rock.
That's what we've been looking for. Jack, help me roll back the rock and we'll see what we can find.
Meanwhile, Prince Gung-Ho is recovering from a low blow dealt him by the villain snowman.
I was warned, Clutch and Spinner. He'll kill them.
But too late. Clutch and company are already making their way down the tunnel, followed by the man they think is their friend, Jack Jones.
Look, Clutch! There he is! The Blue Yak!
Someone meant to hide him here till we'd gone away. Good work, Paddlefoot. That wasn't Jack Jones at all.
Why, it's the real Mr. Abominable!
Clutch cargo!
That's the Prince, Gung-Ho.
Oh, I am so happy you are safe.
That's a real abominable snowman, Mr. Prince?
No, he's my sweet, once faithful servant, Chuck Chee, gone sour. Chuck Chee. He didn't mean to, but he led us to this tunnel anyway. It's the way out of the canyon. Come on. As soon as we get through here, I'll go up on the cliff and get Jack Jones. Wonder what's keeping him.
As they come out of the tunnel, they hear a shout.
Hey! Be careful. Here comes Chuck Chee again.
That's not Chuck Chee, Prince. Paddlefoot knows.
It's our old friend, Jack Jones.
From Eggstain, Ohio.
And that's where I'm going. I've had enough of being a hermit.
You've seen the last of Chuck Chee, Prince. As near as I can figure it, he needed the sacred blue yak to become the ruler of another province.
But now it is safe again. I thank you all, my friends, from the bottom of my heart.
Clutch and company take leave of Prince Gung-Ho and the sacred yak. There is an extra passenger in Clutch's plane.
Yep, I'm going to start up another Easter egg factory. I'm going to make all my eggs look like that there yak and Paddlefoot.
Paddlefoot, the yoke's on you.
And so ends the story of Clutch Cargo with his pals Spinner and Paddlefoot and Mr. Abominable. Be sure to join us again for the next exciting adventure with Clutch Cargo.
Well, well, well. We've learned two very important things tonight. One is that jealousy can lead a man to become a tyrannical zombie master. The other is that the abominable snowman is actually Jack Jones, an ex-Easter egg factory owner from Eggstain, Ohio. It's been a very educational evening. Well, my lords and ladies, I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to invite you all back again next week when we'll do whatever this is all over again. Ha ha! As always, I am Lord Blood-Rah saying, geek out.